Hey guys, welcome back to Lynch's Garage. I just want to show you what I did today. I couldn't save the paint that was on the calipers and the caliper bracket. It was just, I could clean up some of it and it looked okay, but other parts, the paint was worn away because it's not a real smooth surface. It's like it's ripply and there's bumps in it, and that's just the way they make these calipers and the caliper brackets. So what I did, I had it all removed anyway, so I cleaned them all up really well with spray and iron, got all the grease off them, then sprayed them down with Windex, wiped them all down, and I had them ready for paint. So I did the caliper bracket and I did the caliper itself, and I also did the rotor. Now the rotor you have to tape up, of course, the facings on each side. So I did the centerpiece here with the silver lumen paint, high heat paint, and I also did the facing here. So yeah, so you'll see this, when your wheel is on, you will see that part there. That'll show up nice and shiny like. So basically, I started with the plate, the backing plate, right here, this backing plate, which is in great shape. Just on the edge there was a couple chips of paint. I just touched it up with some black paint. It was just very minor wear there. So I bolted those on. Just 3 bolts hold that on. I put a little blue Loctite on each bolt just for precaution. And I torqued them down to 9 Newton meters. That's what they recommend for these little bolts to hold this back plate on. So once I got that done, all I had to do was put the rotor on. And before I put the rotor on, I made sure the facing of the hub had anti-seize on it. It's sort of a copper uh, texture stuff. You put that on the face of the hub, and you also put it on a bit on the backside of this rotor, the centerpiece, and around this flange here I'm showing you right here, just to make it easier in the future. If you have to pull it off, it shouldn't be seized. So once that was on, I had to put the set screw in there. Also put the anti-seize on the set screw and torque that to the recommended uh, Newton meters. Can't remember the exact number, but I followed the guideline for that. It wasn't very tight, but it clicked in properly. What else? So I had that on, and then I had to bolt the caliper bracket. That's the one where I had so much effort to take them off because that yellow thread locker the factory uses is just powerful stuff. So I actually threaded it on quite a ways by hand, and then I torqued it, like they say, 44 foot-pounds to each bolt. And then I tried that. Then I got the breaker bar, and I tried that 90 degree, 90 degree down on the bolt. So what I did is I marked the bolt with a top of the bolt with a marker right on the top, and the other one on the top, the bottom one. And I torqued as hard as I could go. I mean, I don't think I got 90 degrees, but I did tighten it significantly more than 44 foot-pounds. So then I got curious and I did a little deeper dive on it, and I found out, being all said and done, what does the torque work out to? With the 44 foot-pounds and the 90 degree, what really does it work out to? So what I found out from digging and searching, it works out to about 85 foot-pounds, and that's really quite a coincidence because the bullet here, its front brackets are also 85 foot-pounds. So I don't know why they just don't tell you just go to 85 foot-pounds. So I put my torque wrench back on, of course, and I went set it to 85, and I went down and click. Sure enough, it was already there. So I know they're safe because they're at the recommended torque. So with that bracket on, then we had to before we put the caliper on, we had to put the pads. Pads were all cleaned up and they look great. You can see actually on the facing of them once they're clean and washed and stuff. You could see the gold metal flake like pieces in the pad, like they're metallic pads, right? So the high end pads, and they're still thick. Um, I also checked the thickness of the rotor. Being the car is 13 years old, you want to know, how thick is the rotor now. So the recommended throwaway is anything below 27 millimeters. So if it gets below 27 millimeters, I'd say at 27 millimeters, just get some new rotors. But I checked this one and it's 31. So who knows? I could get 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Depends how much braking I do, right? If it's highway miles, you get more time. So that's okay. So the pads went in the bracket, and what I use for the sliding pins the two sliding pins, upper one and lower one, I use this stuff here. It's Permatex, and it's orange. It comes out orange, and it's good stuff. I've used this probably for about 10 years. I've used it on all the daily drivers with no issues. It works good. It's safe on rubber. You can put a little bit around, because it's going inside the rubber boot and the sliders, and the pads are riding on this stuff too. And no, it's really good stuff. And I think it was like temperature of 3,000 Fahrenheit it can handle. It doesn't break down. So yeah, that's good stuff if you need to do your brake job. What else? So then I put the caliper went back on, and the two bolts that hold the caliper on, they torque to 20 foot-pounds. So 20 foot-pounds. But they always have a tendency to spin. So there's an inner nut, and it's a weird size. It's 17 millimeters. It just so happens I had one, just a short little one like that. It's a ratchet enclosed side there. It's a ratchet style, but it's open end there, 17 mil, and it's quite thin, which is what you need here. And it was weird. I found that years ago when we had our first Sonata. It was down for service at Yule Auto, and the car came back here, and for some reason the harmonic balancer started sliding out off the engine. Of course, then it ripped the friggin' the serpentine belt all to pieces, and it was like spaghetti everywhere. So I don't know why. Just after I got it back from them, that happened. But anyway, I got that sorted out. Got a new harmonic balancer, got a new belt on, and all that. But I found that short little wrench. I found it, and I thought, well, maybe someday I'll use it. Well, this was the day. I got to use it. It's a perfect size. I don't have a 17 millimeter anywhere in all the stuff I have. So that was good. What else? Got that on. Everything torqued. So I could leave it like this, which I probably will, because I got to take the tire that was on here. I got to take it down to Bench Auto and get them to test that, see what they find out with that. If it's the rim, which I don't think, or the tire is causing this problem. So yeah, and I don't really want to get into that side, doing another rotor too soon. I might do it next week, but it's I spent about 5 hours on it today just getting this all cleaned, painted, everything back to rights. So I might do it next week, depending on how things go, or maybe the week after. But I will get it done in January. I will get that side done. And the back side, in February, I'll buy kits for the backside. Now, just reading about the backside, the torque specs are not as heavy uh, on the bracket bolts. I think they're only 30 foot-pounds, and then maybe it's another 90-degree turn. I don't know. I didn't check too deep into it. But anyways, we'll do that in February. And we'll just keep finding little things to do on the car. So if you come back tomorrow night, Friday night, I figure that's a good Friday night's a good night to pop a Guinness and have a story night. So it will be continuing on the Vega, but the first story of the Vega will be the first time I drove it, and I believe, if my memory serves me correct, it was weather similar to what we have now. No snow on the ground. It was, I don't know, probably around 7 degrees. There was no rain that day when I took it out, but we'll go into a deep dive on it there tomorrow night. What happened when I ventured out. But until tomorrow night, I'd like each and every one of you to stay safe out there. You know what I mean. Thunder Road.